Bitcoin absolutely going crazy in that it has not consolidated yet, has not retraced yet to even just key higher low support areas. Bitcoin just hanging up there. Even right now, as I do this video on the daily chart, look at this daily candle. Momentum to the upside. Looks like Bitcoin wants to break out. I want to go over exactly what's going on here. This is a daily chart. I have a concern I just want to lay out there. And we're going to dig into a 6-hour chart that might be showing another breakout getting ready to happen on the short term. And actually, this is a 4-hour chart. But before we take a look at these two incredibly important data points in terms of Bitcoin and crypto markets, I want to remind you all of something. I just Googled stock market real quick. So here is an article from 37 minutes ago. Stock market news. Stocks edge lower after inflation gauge data. Then 5 minutes ago, Dow slightly gains on key inflation data. Look at the conflicting articles. Look at the conflicting headlines. Nobody knows what's going on right now. Nobody knows how to track the data and how it's actually making markets respond. It's just all over the place right now. Markets are they're in a very, very unique position. And I'm talking about from a macro perspective, a multi-month, multi-year perspective even. If we go S&P 500 before we dig into the Bitcoin charts, and this is important to the Bitcoin and crypto charts, look at this move on the S&P 500, this breakout on the weekly chart. And we have only 5 hours, 47 minutes as I do this video to see if we get this weekly close above this trend line that extends all the way to this bull market high in January 2022. This is huge in terms of the macro shift for all markets. We talk about a lot. Economy kind of bottoming out and taking a little bit longer than markets. So basically markets turning around before the economy. We could be seeing that happening right now. Maybe the economy still has some work to do. Markets right now in that shift though into bull. And so we're going to continue tracking that. Look at these moving averages on the daily chart on the S&P 500, all down here, converging together. The 20-day approaching the 50-day in blue, the 200 in red. We have this cushion to the downside now for S&P 500, even if it wants to retrace and test these areas. What happens if that happens? We'll be tracking that. Over to the Bitcoin charts, everybody. One thing to note on the weekly before we really dive in and start digging into the shorter term moves, look at these converging moving averages on the weekly. 50-week moving average, 200-week moving average. This is a huge area of resistance that very well could play into the charts that I'm about to show you on the short term. That's the daily and the 4-hour charts. And let's just look at it. First things first, daily chart. This daily candle, even as I do the video, is so impressive because we're in this environment now with Bitcoin where it's starting to look like a very bullish environment, meaning these moves that you see here, these higher highs and higher lows above these moving averages, namely the 20-day moving average here, when we start seeing moves like this above that, that's just parabolic bull environment moves, right? What's so impressive is just the fact that we're just coming out of the bear market low. There's our macro 786 line. It's a huge macro Fibonacci retracement. It's just Bitcoin falling into the bear market bottom, the bear market low. We're just coming out of that, and Bitcoin's putting in a lot of upward momentum. Now, here's the concern, or I should say, here's this cause for caution for me. Open up the RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator. It has not cooled down at all since coming into overbought, meaning we haven't even touched this overbought line. We haven't even just come back down just to touch it, to test it even before continuation, right? These moves of just kind of consolidation in these higher highs and higher lows. Look at just the extension above this overbought line. The reason I bring that up is because historically, if you zoom out on Bitcoin, the last time I just did this, the last time I saw Bitcoin actually make a move like that, where there's all this space here, and Bitcoin is consolidating, but it's consolidating all above here. The last time I saw it do that was all the way back here. This is 2013. This is 2013. You see all of this space here. Bitcoin's consolidating for sure. And let me open this up so we can see this more clearly. Bitcoin's consolidating, but it's not coming back down to just retest this overbought line or even just dip into this area. The RSI, the momentum, and the momentum of Bitcoin at this time, so strong. Now, what was Bitcoin doing at that time? Notice this was post 2012 halving, right? So this is more in this area where, and it's right here, where Bitcoin's actually pretty much entering a bull market. That's this area. It's not right after exiting a bear market. This is actually Bitcoin entering a bull market. This is really the last time we saw an RSI do something like this. One thing to note, and this is where the caution comes into for me, is you can see in this move, there's these higher highs, right? Just crazy momentum, higher highs, even some higher lows. You go to the Bitcoin chart now, there's kind of the opposite happening. There's not higher highs happening right now. It's actually, most recently, we put in a lower high, and right now, it's kind of just even a lower high, right? So we're kind of having this consolidation. It's almost like a symmetrical triangle on the RSI. And it's going to be so interesting because this is the first time zooming out on the charts that I've really seen a setup like this on this Bitcoin daily RSI. It will be absolutely interesting to see what Bitcoin does, the move that it makes. And check it out. Stock RSI, the quicker moving momentum oscillator, breaking to the downside, kind of cruising down towards the lower end of this oscillator, meaning we could get a pivot and start actually getting short-term momentum to the upside. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the 4-hour chart, the potential for a breakout right now on this chart. And it is going to be really cool to see what this RSI looks like if Bitcoin does break out. This could be all off the back of what is going on over here, S&P 500. What will happen with the stock market today in the next 5 hours? This is something I'll be closely watching. Is this going to be a fake breakout? Does the day end red? Will Bitcoin just stall? And will this chart break down? Let's look at the bullish case on the short term for Bitcoin. And I want to kind of draw our attention to, this is Kevin Svensson over on Twitter. He also has a YouTube channel, and he does really great Bitcoin analysis. Check this clip out quick.
Is poised for another break up. Guys, check this out. We have continuation patterns playing out once again. The same exact signals are about to trigger. Bitcoin's about to have another leg up. And also, more importantly, the S&P 500.
So he's talking about S&P 500 there, but he was just talking about Bitcoin on the 4-hour. This bullish look, this trend continuation on the 4-hour chart. And this is really what it looks like. Kind of Bitcoin falling into this very similar pattern on the 4-hour chart. And you can just see it. This consolidation phase. And by the way, he did this video. This video was yesterday afternoon. And here we are, the potential for that breakout to play out. Props to him if this plays out. But check this out. There's this kind of consolidation phase on the 4-hour. There's the breakout, boom, to the upside. So it cooled down here on the 4-hour, right? Out of overbought, boom, breakout to the upside. Consolidation, boom, breakout to the upside. We're getting a very similar look on this RSI right now. Just these lower lows, lower highs on the 4-hour, consolidation out of overbought on the 4-hour. And then the question is, boom, breakout to the upside. Is that getting ready to happen right now? This massive breakout to the upside for Bitcoin, which as it translates to the daily chart that we just looked at, this would be epic. This would be kind of a one-of-a-kind look into the Bitcoin chart, something that doesn't happen all the time. And I absolutely, tracking Bitcoin, technical analysis for crypto, I love when things like this play out. Just, it makes things really exciting. RSI on the 400 or the 4-hour, the stock RSI, quicker moving momentum oscillator, a lot of room for upside here for this chart. Notice where it broke out last time, and this was like January 19th or so. Breakout to the upside right from the middle of this oscillator. We're hanging out there right now. The room for the upside right now for Bitcoin is there. The momentum is possible. The concern I have, even if we get a breakout to the upside, everybody's talking about 25,000. What if there's a breakout to 25,000? I just want to note and kind of start reeling the excitement in. I kind of do that a lot, which is just to say, even on the 4-hour, you can see these moves to the upside, which are putting in price, shorter term price highs. We're getting lower highs on this RSI. And we just looked at what it looks like on the Bitcoin daily chart. Same thing. These lower highs on the RSI, if these continue, Bitcoin could be losing its momentum. It could be signaling, well, it's taken a while this time. There's a lot of short-term bullish momentum, but the break to the downside could be coming, and it could be a harsh break to the downside. It's just something I like to be prepared for, especially as we have these moving averages down here. That's cushion, everybody. A move to these areas, in my view, is bullish. It's not bearish. I think these moves to the downside are healthy. I talk about them all the time, even in bullish environments, bullish breakout environments. Bitcoin is just doing something on this daily chart that we do not see it do often. It's mainly done in bull market environments. And right now it's just happening right after bear market bottom range happening, Bitcoin exiting this macro Fibonacci line. So this is going to be exciting to track in the very short term. Let's see how Kevin's video plays out here on the 4-hour chart. Another break to the upside would be very enjoyable. Let me know your thoughts, everybody, in the comments below. Hit that subscribe and like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.